house down here. My family and my parents, unfortunately, are not in great health, so they can't come down. So before we decide what we're going to do with it, we might as well use it. So yeah, I came down here and brought the equipment, and thankfully it works so far. Not going this.
The fact that you can do this proves that anybody can do it.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, it's one thing doing it from your house, and if it didn't work, you could still get to the studio.
Right.
But the fact that you're doing this 1,500 miles away, that anybody can work remote.
Yeah, exactly. As you were alluding to, one of the worst technical human beings on this planet. It was weird because when I came down here over a week ago, the first thing I did was tested it on a Saturday, and I'm trying to figure it out. And I don't know who was producing your show, Jim.
Yeah, it was me, and I looked. I said, "Is Stoney calling into the show?" They said, "No, he doesn't care about you. He's trying to make sure the connection is ready for when he's on vacation and coming back."
So I could hear the station perfectly. They couldn't hear me. And, it wasn't fair the weekend to have to try to figure it out. So I said, you know what, we'll figure it out next week. And it all worked out well so far.
Did you have the
how
mic turned on?
Everybody doing good?
Yeah, we're doing well. It's funny, too. I mean, we're going to get into what happened this weekend, last night in sports. But you were gone all last week. Fill us in a little bit on, the events of Stoney's life.
Yeah, I don't live a very exciting life, like I used to when I was younger and was a lot wilder, so to speak. But my wife was down here for a while. She came back to Michigan on Wednesday for my daughter's birthday. They turned 22, and it was just relaxed. Hung at a pool, didn't go to the beach. Went to Delray for dinner with a couple of people. That type of thing. I've not played actual golf yet. I had on the driving range a few times. I'm going to be playing Wednesday, maybe earlier, maybe tomorrow as well. Who knows? Depending on how I feel getting out of here. Done a lot of walking. The weather has been beautiful. And as we'll get into later, my wife was gone, so I have a friend down here. I went to college with him, lives down here. I see him usually once a year when I come down, or twice a year. So we decided, to do some events this weekend, and went to the round 2 of the Honda Classic, which is about 20 minutes away. And then Saturday, even though the day was beautiful, you know what? We went and saw the Florida Panthers take on the Edmonton Oilers. And it was a really good hockey.
That's a really good game.
Yes, very good. So yeah, that's been my excitement. I've not exactly done a lot of exciting things, which is fine. I just, just needed to relax, get some good sleep, get some good sun, read a book, that type of thing. Nothing too crazy.
Well, like I said, it's good to have you back, Stoney, and just even in this weekend, a lot that we need to get into. So I don't know where you want to start. You have Michigan State pick up the big win. You had the Wolverines not pick up the big win. Red Wings play this bizarre 17-goal hockey game, and then the Pistons win at the buzzer last night. We can start wherever you want.
Well, I think it's a little too early, but I watched, or I was following along, I should say. I watched the Pistons game last night, and it's getting to the point where do we really want them to win games?
There it is.
I know. I haven't got to that point yet, but it's refreshing to see. Cade Cunningham's played pretty damn well before he got hurt back. It looked like he's actually a player, which stunned me. And you sit there, but then you watch the standings and look at the standings. And when Troy Weaver came on, he says there's about 7 or 8 guys. You don't want to take a chance on getting out of that. You want to at least be top 3 or first 3 picks, and they'll have a pretty good chance of doing that. But yeah, it's kind of weird to watch them play.
Yes, they still
would root for it. Because you're in a position, it's not like they're a really good team.
No.
But you do want to see the young players keep getting better and better and better. And if that brings wins, well, that's the price you got to pay for young players getting better.
They still have one of the 3 worst records, which means they still have the best odds for the number 1 pick. You don't want to get carried away, but they have won 3 of the last 4. Stoney, I think it's funny. If Cade hits the shot last night, you go, wow, that's a game winner for Cade. That's good for his development. Instead, it's Kelly Olynyk fadeaway to just how you draw it up to win the game. I don't know that I need to see that, but yes, it's good for this team also to eventually see some fruits of their labor, so you're not getting bombed by 20 or 30 or 40. You end up actually hanging in a game on a back-to-back on the road. I think that's a step for a young team. That's been a really bad spot for most of the season.
Absolutely, and look, I know everybody in Detroit was just they couldn't figure out how the hell are we going to beat the Hornets. I mean, because it's 15, they beat the Hornets since 2017.
DC had never beat them as the Pistons head coach.
Yeah, well, I bet you nobody knew that until yesterday, for the most part.
Right, it was one of those buried stats that you only
Yes.
hear about when they play the Hornets. It's not like, oh, the city of Detroit's been dying to beat Charlotte, and wow, what a big
I
moment.
know.
Um,
Yeah, it was. I mean, and Saturday with the college basketball was crazy. And Michigan State, give them credit, they hung in and made the huge shot to win the game because they hadn't been playing well as we all know, and that was a huge win for them, and gives them some momentum into tomorrow night's game with the Wolverines.
which is suddenly an even bigger game because Michigan needs to pick up some
Yes.
quality wins before they get into the tournament. We'll get into that a little more 6-18 here. With Michigan
Yeah.
State, I'm working to confirm whether or not it was Rico Beard who drew up that game-winning play for Walker, because he's been talking up Walker for weeks, saying he's the guy that's supposed to step up. He's the point guard. They brought him in. And I know Rico's at the game, and he's courtside with, Tucker, who's at every game now, and the AD Howler. It wouldn't surprise me if someone passed the whiteboard down to Rico, and he's freaking 16 seconds left, high ball screen, and there it is. It was a big shot from Walker.
It really was, and a couple weeks ago I went to the game and when they played Indiana, and he played really well in that game. And him and Hogard playing together seems to make the offense a little bit better. And finally, a Gabe Brown sighting.
He's
right?
alive!
Yes. That was nice. And, as far as Michigan goes, look, Illinois is a really good team when they have their A game on. And I don't think they were so worried about Gov's favorite Coburn. And he had a great second half, but the first half determined really the game because Plummer was incredible. Where'd that come from? I mean, I know he's a transfer from Utah, and he's a very good three-pointer, but they couldn't defend that at all yesterday.
No, and like you said, Illinois is a really good team. Illinois is a tournament team. Illinois, in a year where there really is no favorite, who the hell knows? Illinois could go on a run this year. I know they haven't in a long, long time, but in a year like this, just as good as any. Yet Saturday was the top 6 teams in the country, 7 of the top 10 all fall. The madness of March comes a couple days early. If you're Michigan State, you're squarely in the tournament now, right? I don't think there's any debate. I know they were going through a February skid, but they picked up a marquee win against Purdue. They have a couple marquee wins already on the schedule. They're going to get in. It's about seeding. And now that you're in a year that's wide open, I'm not of the belief they're going to go anywhere and do anything.
No.
But why the hell not? It's March, so get in and figure it out.
Yeah, look, especially this year where it seems like we've been saying that there's no great team. I mean, Baylor's probably playing as good as anybody right now, right? They're the defending champion because they were unscathed this weekend, correct?
Yeah, Baylor won.
Baylor won.
Yeah, and they
So-
and Duke, I think, were the 2 teams in that top 10. 2 of the 3 teams in the top 10 that won.
I thought what this weekend confirmed is that a lot of people have been saying there's very few teams that could win it all this year. I think it confirmed that there's actually anybody could win it.
Yes, exactly.
I was telling Jim before the show, it reminds me of the year Virginia won it. Now, Virginia was a 1 seed that year, and they were one of the few that were expected to win, but nobody believed in them because of their previous tournament experience.
Correct.
They lost they blew the
NBC.
the worst upset ever, at least according to seeding. But like that year when Auburn made it, middle of the road, 5th seed SEC team, somebody in the middle of one of these conferences is going to get hot and make a run. Like right now, I like Duke, but I'm not very comfortable with that. And Ohio State beat them earlier this year, and they could beat them if they played them in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, then Ohio State gets trounced by Maryland, and Maryland stinks yesterday. It's 75 to 60.
Great name.
The
Thanks,
Duke
Russ.
thing, the Duke thing is just, Krzyzewski. Oh God, if he goes out with the title, I think I might have to take a week off of work.
It feels like that's gonna happen to me.
Yes.
It's one of these stony, I get these feeling things once in a while.
Yes.
It kind of feels like it's so weird to make this comparison. It feels like when Ray Lewis announced that he was going to retire. Like, it just feels like it's just going to happen to me.
That's a pretty good
It's like when he came out of that, when Ray Lewis came out of that tunnel in that playoff game, the opener, I'm like, they're winning it all. I just got the feeling, And it feels like I know ESPN's doing a lot with Coach K this week. I think game day is at Duke Saturday, and they still you gotta wait till you see that. Have you seen the drawing yet?
No.
I mean, he looks like the aardvark more than ever before, but
Yes.
slash rat. But I don't know. It feels like it's something feel good's gonna happen.
And all of a sudden, Gonzaga loses a conference game. I mean, so look, St. Mary's is good, and that's a tough place to win, but maybe the great Chet Holmgren's not as good as we
I just
thought.
can't. After last year, I just can't go there with them. Like the fact that they really didn't show up in the championship game.
I know. Hey, he had a few too many, I guess.
You brought up Duke, and you asked a question like, I don't know, who's the favorite of this group? Hard to say they're the favorite, but I look at the resume. I think they beat Gonzaga. They beat Kentucky. Those are 2 top 10 teams.
Yes.
It is Krzyzewski. They got 5 players in double figures, including an NBA guy, a top 5 guy in Banchero. I don't know. It's just as good as anybody's here, and I think Duke could be that team that makes that run, as nauseating as it would be.
I just feel like I don't know until you see the bracket, and then even then it's going to be hard. Don't you guys agree that one of these middle of the road big conference teams is going to get hot? And so you're the one or the two in that region, and you're going to have to face them in like the Sweet 16, and you're going to get blitzkrieged. And we don't know. And the thing is, we don't know which one it is. It's just so hard to pick somebody.
Right, and you know what it is, and I think it's pretty obvious, that the SEC and the Big 12 are far away better than the Big 10 and the ACC this year, as far as having really good teams. I don't know. The Big 10 just is, because maybe it's just year after year being disappointed that they can't win a national championship. And the SEC, they're picking it up like compared to football. But you look at that conference, man, and the Big 12, they're the 2 best conferences in basketball right now.
It's also when
ACC is not very good.
It's also when you watch the games. Like you watch a Wisconsin, Michigan State, it's just nobody can hit a shot. Meanwhile, Arkansas, Kentucky are running a track meet, and it's just great play after great play.
I'll say this, just one more team that we haven't mentioned is Arizona. And I know it's the Pac-12 and they're down, but I do know they have a lot of very good KenPom efficiency ratings that trend toward, and they do have blue, right, Greg?
Yes.
Remember, there's that stat or whatever that Greg always had that you had to have blue in your colors most of the time to win it.
Last year they didn't, though, right?
Right.
Baylor's green and gold, right?
Yeah.
There was
Exceptions to every rule. All right, we got the show off the rails already. What I do is I want to get into more of this college basketball stuff when it comes to the Wolverines, the bubble watch. Some sites have them in, some have them on the bubble. Much work still to be done for the Wolverines. We'll set that up here, 6:35. Deadline day. Does anybody care? It's 97.1.
Hey, BetMGM welcomes you with a special offer on the NBA. Simply place a $10 moneyline wager on any game. If either team hits a three-pointer, you'll win $200 in free bets. Just use the bonus code STONY200. Plus, you'll earn BetMGM reward points that can be redeemed for online bonuses or converted into comps for rooms, restaurants, and more at over 20 MGM resorts nationwide. BetMGM is proud to be an authorized gaming partner of the NBA. Download the app or go to BetMGM.com and use the bonus code STONY200 to win $200 in free bets if either team hits a three-pointer. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. Michigan only. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ EMI 50 Traffic Center, picked up a new accident 94 westbound just after Gratiot Avenue in Detroit. That crash is blocking the right lane and shoulder. 275 northbound traffic a little slow in pockets from Eureka Road to M1496. That's due to a new work zone. Keep in mind 696 east and westbound ramps to northbound 75 are now closed until mid-November. 75 north and south ramps at 12 Mile are closed, and east and westbound 12 Mile and 75 closed also. I'm Michelle Penny with traffic.
As a small business owner, your bottom line is always top of mind. So start saving by switching to Comcast Business Mobile. It's a mobile service designed for small business that can save you money with unlimited data for just $24 per line per month for 10 lines. Perfect for any any small business looking to grow. Or you can pay by the gig. And with access to millions of Wi-Fi hotspots, you'll pay only for the data you need. No line fees, activation costs, or term contracts. You can save up to $500 a year on your wireless bill, all on the most reliable 5G network. And it's only available to Comcast Business Internet customers. So boost your business's bottom line with a more reliable, more affordable mobile service by switching to Comcast Business Mobile today. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Comcast Business Mobile utilizes the network with the most for veterans 5G data reliability assessment wins in 2H 2021. Wi-Fi networks not tested. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.
Well, you just saw the forecast, Detroit. It's another cold one, and more on the way. If you're ready to trade in that winter coat and boots for a t-shirt and flip-flops, make plans to head down to Lakeland, Florida, where it's warm and sunny all year round. There's Legoland Florida Resort and Safari Wilderness Ranch, as well as beautiful gardens to explore. Or you can get out on the lakes, maybe go for a hike, plus all that good food. Florida's sweetest spot is calling. Go to visitcentralflorida.com to plan your trip.
The boats are back at the Progressive Novi Boat Show. The most boats you'll find in one location anywhere this season. There's a boat for your adventures and budget. Cruisers, ski boats, pontoons, fishing boats, plus accessories and gear. Find your first boat or your next. Go nuts over Twiggy the water skiing squirrel. March 10th through 13th, Suburban Collection Showplace. Tickets and details at noviboatshow.net.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with a booming voice that emphasizes all the main points. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
That part is super important.
Here's one with a booming voice.
I'm emphasizing everything.
Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance.
Like a page with every word highlighted.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Liberty, 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 liberty.
Wait, aren't these all charitable donations?
At Magda's Tax Prep, every person
Do
counts.
not have to file for an extension.
She needs new auditors to maximize returns on her family